This is a predominantly black church in Pennsylvania. This is a homegrown domestic terrorist. His name is Jeffery Harris. He's 38 years old. Dang, I look younger than him. They live in Ambridge. Now, this sheriff is trying to cover things up because he don't want that bad light on this community. But he's lying. Listen.
Active shooters, the chief wants to make clear.
We found nothing in the evidence as of now to alarm our community to think that this was racially motivated.
Now, I want to give a shout out to the other news stations who actually told the truth. This Ambridge man, Jeffery Harris, he was arrested trying to take a long pipe into a predominantly black church on Monday. And he also had handwritten notes about an active pew-pewing in the Duss Avenue home where he lived, which the police said that he appeared to be ready for a standoff. Now, Ambridge police initially went to his address about 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday because they got a report of a man walking around with a long pipe. And a woman at the scene told officers the man, later identified as Mr. Harris, pointed that long pipe at her and then at another woman on the street. Then he walked his tail down to Greater Dominion Church on Melrose Avenue, which sparked concerns. He was attempting to open up the door to enter that church with that long pipe to commit a hate crime. He couldn't get in because the church was already full and they locked the doors. By the grace of God, they were smart enough to do that. But he also, when the police finally caught up with him because he walked away, he allegedly pointed his pipe at the officers before all the backup arrived and he was ordered at the doorway. But one of the crazy things is they took him alive. I'm just pointing that out. Now, when they caught up with him, he had a $50 size of street pharmaceuticals, 25 rounds of shotgun shells, and the officer said that he made bizarre comments while en route to the station. They also said that his long pipe had been shot recently. When they went to go search his house, they said his furniture was positioned in such a way that it would funnel anyone entering the home into a particular area, like a makeshift barrier. And police said it included a Pelican weapon case, that had a hole drilled in it, which to me sounds like a setup. And if you're military, you would know that right there would have someone have the tactical advantage of pew-pewing at the front door from a protected position.
Police say this man tried to get into a predominantly black church with a shotgun and was, quote, ready for a standoff.
Police say the suspect's home was rigged with an explosive device and barriers and that he may have been actually trying to lure police there. And Channel 11 News reporter Nicole Ford went to Ambridge and found out what may have prevented a total tragedy.
Sitting on the outskirts of Ambridge is the Greater Dominion Church.
At our church, we have 6 to 7 licensed, armed men and women who are carrying their weapons to church now. It's a shame.
But Bishop Kenneth Crum says it's a reality, especially after what happened Sunday morning. Police say Jeffery Harris, armed with a shotgun, was threatening women outside the church and attempting to enter the building before heading into the town center.
The guy just happened to come an hour early. If he would have came an hour later, he would have came into a building of people. And this could have been a catastrophic situation like we faced with our Jewish brothers and sisters in Pittsburgh at the synagogues.
It was here on Merchant Street where an officer first spotted Harris armed with that shotgun. According to court paperwork, Harris pointed the gun at the officer before he was taken into custody. That's when officers went to Harris's home on Duss Avenue. Court paperwork describes the home as, quote, ready for a standoff, with barriers at the front door and an explosive device in the home. Crum tells me it's even more concerning, knowing Harris was living just blocks from the church.
I'm on high alert. We are watchful, we're praying, and we are not going to allow anyone to just come in and do anything to us.
Harris remains behind bars with a bail of nearly $1 million. He's expected back in court on September 5th.
This was a hate crime, and you can't cover it up. And it's happening more and more and more. It's happening more often. This is lawlessness. Go back to my pinned videos. Go back to some of the other videos when I talked about a civil war coming. It's happening all over. You got to stay vigilant and keep your head on swivel. You need to get licensed.
Black News Network, featuring Flo, Walt, Foolish, and Prophet Ruben, bringing you exclusive news.